Remember the days when you were actually afraid of your father? You were afraid of your dad? You knew exactly what time he got off work, and then you kind of like peer out the window and he'd be pulling up in his station wagon, pulling into the driveway, and then you would just run into your room and hide. Right? Especially if you thought you were in trouble or if you did something wrong, you would just bolt right in your room. You would like pull out your books, pretend you're like reading and doing your homework. You know, your report card would come, you'd totally hide your report card, or you'd try to change the grade because you were freaked out, right? Back in the day, you were freaked out. You were afraid of your father. That's how it was back in those days. Back in my time, at least, I was afraid of my dad. Dads would belt us, right? Remember that? Dads would spank us, belt us whenever we got out of line, man. Whew, that would hurt. Remember Good Times? You guys watch Good Times? I remember Good Times. It was on in the 70s. James Evans, man. That dude with his belt. Remember some of those episodes? Whew, he would be spanking the kids and you could hear him in the other room and oh my goodness, man. But yeah, James Evans with his belt, man, that's how a lot of dads were actually. If that show was on TV today, I mean, yeah, there would be all sorts of backlash against that. Like, oh, he's abusing children. Oh, you can't do that. That's not how you discipline kids, right? But back when I was growing up, and even before then, you were actually afraid of your father. That is how kids stayed out of trouble. Right? They stayed out of trouble. You probably stayed out of trouble because you didn't want to get the belt from your dad. You didn't want him coming home from work and like rolling up his sleeves and get ready to give you a whooping. Right? Whereas these days, you don't have that. Kids are not being disciplined that way. And you see the result of this. So many of these dads are like, they're such like weak father figures, it's insane. It's hard to blame them too because society is completely shifted. Whereas if you belted your kid, don't be surprised if CPS, Child Protective Services, yeah. CPS shows up at your door wanting to take your kid, or you have these insane stories of kids reporting their parents for spanking them. It's like, dude, you need to be disciplined, right? But you have these parents these days not being authority figures to their kids, but instead being their friends. Oh, we're best friends, me and my son. We're best friends, me and my daughter. And you know what? You're not supposed to be best friends with your child, okay? You're supposed to be their parent. You're supposed to be their authority figure. And they're supposed to be afraid of you, okay? Doesn't mean they can't come to you, but they should be afraid to step out of line, curse at you, speak out at you. They should be afraid to do that. Whereas a lot of these kids these days are not getting that type of discipline because they're looking at their parents like, oh, we're equals. We're equals. You're just like me. I'm just like you. And it's like, no, dude, because this is my house, right? You're eating here and living here for free. So no, we ain't equals, man. You're down here, son. You're down here. I'm up here. You're down here. I'm up here. And I can tell you what to do. Right? And if you don't like to listen, if you don't want to listen, see that door? Yeah, you lay down the law. But a lot of the parents these days are not doing that. They're just becoming I need to be my child's best friend. And you see the result of this, especially on college campuses. You see like a lot of these kids in colleges these days, they're complete little snots, right? Just complete little snots. Not all of them, right? Some are cool, but a lot of them aren't, right? A lot of them are these like Starbucks sipping, MacBook having, Chipotle eating socialists that hate capitalism, yet here they are on their latest iPhone, like tweeting, using Twitter, another capitalist platform, on their capitalist cell phone, eating their capitalist burrito from Chipotle or Taco Bell, talking about how much they hate capitalism. Oh, we need to be socialists. Hold on, let me put my MacBook out. Let me whip out my $3,000 MacBook that my parents bought me. My best friend, my dad, who's my best friend. It's like, dude, I never thought of my dad as my best friend. He's my dad, right? He's my dad. So, huge difference with parenting today. And if you're a parent these days, you could probably relate to this, especially if you're part of my generation, or especially if your dad was kind of like a James Evans type. He did not put up with jack shit, right? He didn't put up with any excuses. He just took out the belt. right? You guys, watch Good Times. I believe there's some episodes on YouTube. James Evans, man, he was like the ultimate like scary dad. It's like you don't want to step out of line. He loved his kids, don't get me wrong. That guy loved his kids. Loved his kids to death. This is what made him such a great dad. He knew that, hey, you're not my friend. I'm not your friend. I am your dad, and you are gonna respect me. Okay? You are gonna respect me. I'm your father. Was he the perfect father? No. Is any dad perfect? No, absolutely not. But there was always that hierarchy, that framework where he was the father and these were his children, and he didn't want them to grow up sideways. He didn't want them to end up in the street. He didn't want them joining gangs. He didn't want them to, fail in life. And like a lot of dads, and I really believe like James Evans really represented what a dad should have been like, or would have been like in those days. A lot of dads were like that. Even my own friends that I went to school with, they were afraid of their dads and getting spanked and belted and all that stuff. These days it's completely shifted, and you see that just the snottiness with these kids because they've never been disciplined. It's almost like coming across somebody who's never been in a street fight. It's like coming across somebody who's never gotten their ass kicked, right? When you come across somebody who's never gotten their ass kicked, they're missing that humbleness to them, right? They're lacking that humbleness. They just kind of buy into their own bullshit because they've never really had anybody kick their ass. And I believe everybody needs a good ass kicking because it really humbles you, right? Really humbles you. And it really drives you too, depending on how it happened. I mean, I got my ass kicked in 7th grade and I never forgot it. And that was the whole reason I started taking martial arts. I started taking Shorin Ryu karate back in when I was in 7th grade, and I took it all the way through like college, and I got my first degree black belt when I was 16, when I was in high school, and I didn't lose a fight since. I haven't lost a fight since 7th grade. So it taught me a lot of mental discipline. It taught me how to stick up for myself, how to stand up for myself. My dad did not step in. My dad knew about it, and he was like, you need to learn how to defend yourself. He wasn't like, oh, let me go down there and whoop his ass, even though he wanted to. He was like, no, you need to learn how to fight. You need to learn how to defend yourself because this is going to happen again in life some point. I was like, okay, I want to be prepared. So I enrolled in karate, learned how to fight, never lost a fight since. But it's that type of discipline that not only makes you humble, but makes you grow as a young boy turning into a man. That type of parenting, that can only come from a strong father figure. He could have easily just called the principal, right? He could have called the principal like, hey, da da da, but he didn't. He wanted me to handle it. You don't have that these days. And a lot of these fathers these days, they just do. They just call the principal. I can understand that, right? Especially these days because a lot of these kids are packing, right? So a lot of these kids are pussies. They won't fight without a gun. They won't just stick up their dukes and fight it out, duke it out, and then shake hands after. Nope, gotta shoot each other. Kids these days are really missing that authoritarian, strong male father figure in their lives. Even if they have a dad in their lives, the dad is not the authority figure, and the kid does not respect the dad. The kid is not afraid of the dad. The kid sees the dad as his equal. Even though the dad is the one who brought him into this world, the dad is paying all the bills, the dad's who is the one who, owns the house, owns the cars, provides all the food. The kid is just really freeloading, but he thinks that, oh, my dad's my equal. He's not. Okay, that's your dad, right? You should not be best friends. Okay, at least not until you become men, and even then there should be like a mutual respect type of relationship. I don't feel comfortable with this best friend thing. There needs to be that mutual respect. That was the point of this coaching video. I was just remembering the days when people were actually afraid of their father, and fathers would discipline their kids, and we were producing more healthy adult males into society. We never had perfect males, but we were producing more healthy males into society. We didn't have a bunch of snots running around college campuses thinking they know everything, wanting everything to be free and socialism and all this other stuff, and I hate capitalism as they text on their $1,000 cell phone, and they're eating their $20 steak burrito platter from Chipotle. You didn't see that back then. You didn't see that level of snottiness or hypocrisy or virtue signaling because the kids were better disciplined. Okay, the kids were better disciplined. Again, not all kids. Not all kids, because I've seen some pretty cool kids who don't really buy into that. That takes a lot of social independence to go against your peers like that, especially at that age when they're all like, no, this is how you should be thinking. This is what you should be thinking. And then you're like, no, screw you, dude. You're wrong. You're wrong. I mean, that takes balls because you're going to lose friends. People are going to turn on you. People are going to try to shame you. And especially at that age, it takes balls to go against the crowd. So kudos. But we really need to get back to the days where the father is respected, right? The father is respected and the kid isn't looking at the dad like they're the same or they're on the same level or, oh, we're besties. No, he has to be your dad, okay? He can't be your bestie. He has to be your dad. He has to be the guy that you respect, the guy that you fear, especially when you do something wrong, and the guy that you look up to, right? Obviously, you should look up to your dad. He should be somebody that you admire, somebody that is, strong, somebody that lays down the law, somebody who's fair, right? Somebody who's fair and can lay down the law. Obviously, not all parents are going to be perfect. Inevitably, that's the type of fathers we need today, okay? That's the type of father you want to become. You don't want to become, your 8-year-old child's best friend, okay? You're his dad. Be his dad, right? When he needs someone to talk to, listen to him, right? You could talk to him as a man, right? And when he needs a shoulder to cry on, let him go to his mom. That's what she's there for. Let him go to his mom. You don't need to see him like that. And he probably doesn't want you to see him like that. Let him go to his mom to cry. And then when it's time to hit a baseball, when it's time to throw a football, when it's time to do anything active or roughhouse, then he comes to you, right? That's what being a dad is. So let me know your thoughts below, guys, especially if you're a father. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's coaching video about how your dad raised you, about how you plan on raising your own children, or if you're raising children right now, how are you raising them? This also goes for daughters, right? Especially daughters, right? You have to lay down the law with your daughter, because if your daughter doesn't respect you, man, that's gonna be bad, right? Chick's gonna end up becoming a feminist. She needs to respect you just as much as your son respects you, if not more, okay? She needs to respect you just the same, if not more. So again, leave your comments below. Let me know your parenting techniques that will help other guys who are thinking about becoming parents or who are parents now. Just drop your comments below. I'd love to read them, and obviously the tribe will gain value from them too. And with that said, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets signing out. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Do it now. Smash the like button. Also hit the notification bell, guys. Hit that notification bell as well so that you are notified whenever I upload a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube channel. And also whenever I live stream. A lot of you guys are complaining like, oh, I didn't get the message that you live streaming. That's why you gotta hit the notification bell as well, sir. Okay, so hit that notification bell too. And obviously you want to make sure you're subscribed to my channel. That way you're notified and you know whenever I'm uploading new content or I'm going live. Make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube hates the fact that I'm teaching you guys this stuff. So I need you guys to make sure you're subscribed. That way it helps me reach other guys just like you and just like me, right? And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason I'm doing that is protect my premium content from YouTube. In the event they try to shut me down one day, they won't be able to, because I'm paying for this premium platform. That's the absolute best way to support me and show that you love me and you love what I'm doing here and you want me to continue. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium AlphaMaleSecrets coaching lessons from me. It's only $1, so take advantage of it. And all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.